All right, understanding money, how money works, and hopefully this will make it easier for you to get more money in your life by understanding just a little bit about it. And I'll start off first with some misconceptions and how people get them. So right off the bat, a lot of people have the wrongful misconception that they they have like an entitlement towards money. They believe most people believe that they deserve six figures plus for whatever reason because that seems like a lot of money, and they're good people and they deserve it. Especially if they went out and got a 4 year degree, because that's like the narrative that's been told in society forever. And although that was true 50 years ago, that's not necessarily true now, especially depending on which degree that you choose. Many people's parents have also told them this narrative. They didn't know any better, so you can't blame them. That's just what they were told or what kind of worked for them, so they would just repeat it back. And a good example of this is when parents are strict on their kids to get good grades, and they freak out about stuff like that. I'm not saying getting good grades is a bad thing. However, what I am saying is that it's not the be all end all. It's not the most important thing, and I don't think they understand how money and value and such works as well. So they tell their kids that their kids believe that if they get good grades or they get a degree, they're automatically entitled to a certain amount of income or a certain amount of money. A lot of people pick degrees that they just like or fields that they just like, and not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. You should pick something that you enjoy doing, if you're especially if you're choosing like to invest in college and such. However, it's a double-edged sword because one, you do have to enjoy, or I should say, it's a two-way thing. One, you do have to pick something you enjoy because if you don't, you're not going to stick with it through the long haul. But two, you have to be smart in what you choose as far as a major or field, because if you pick something that does not have a large supply for the skill that you're offering, um, you're not going to get compensated for it. Or there's not going to be jobs or many jobs, and the odds will be against you. A good example of this is if you pick something like a liberal arts degree, no one cares for it, no one wants it. However, if you get a degree in like the healthcare, and like a registered nurse, something that they always need, just think which one's easier to get a job than the other. Another thing you have to keep in the back of your mind, you have to understand is, if we're going further with the college thing, is college is a business. They're there to make money off you as well. So they will try to get you to take loans, and you probably will need to. And that is dangerous because you're investing. Yes, you're investing in yourself, but if you are, you better be damn sure you're investing in the correct thing. Meaning, if you get a bad degree, you're stuck with that loan regardless of whether you finish your degree, you get your degree and you can't get a job, or you don't. So if you're gonna roll all the dice on yourself, you better make a damn good plan. You better understand the which jobs are in supply, which ones are in demand, and if you're gonna go to school for it and all this, you better truly, truly enjoy this job and know this is for you beforehand, or at the very least, like intern or something like such while you're going, so you can quickly change out of it if you don't like it. So, money in general is an IOU value system. What that means is you get paid equivalent to the proportion of value that you give, and money is a symbol of owing you the value in return. That's why you can exchange it for value whenever you want. So, from like the root base, money is the value that you give. So you have to find a way how to give the most amount of value, um, the most amount of value, and you have to do something that you enjoy doing, because in order to really push through and give a great amount, offer up so much, and you go through hurdles, roadblocks, and things that you're not going to want, do things you're not going to want to do, you have to truly believe in what you're doing. You truly believe in the value that you're bringing to the table, or the skill that you're trying to get, or um, even a business you're trying to start. Uh, it's very, very important that this is something that you are on board with 100%, because there will most likely come a point that you will have to pretty much focus all your time and energy on just getting something off the ground, as far as whether it's going to school full time, starting like a new job and learning there, and that would take the majority of time, or starting a business. And if you don't like it, if it doesn't resonate with you, if you don't see it, if it doesn't make sense to you, you're not going to stick with it. And even if you are, you won't stick with it long enough afterwards, after you're settled, because it'll be annoying and boring. Another thing about money is you get more value for the more people that you can affect. You get compensated more for the more people you're able to affect. What that means is, as you can tell, like industries like the entertainment industry, or like a business which has a large number of customers, obviously they get paid a lot more. Why? Because even though they can't offer like a great amount of value. For example, like it's not like a one-on-one with a doctor working on someone who gets paid even $100 an hour, but they get value from so many people because they offer it to so many people, like TV networks and such, that they get compensated so much. Why? Because the greatest value that you can offer and get compensated for is something that affects a large scope of people. So that is also another thing to look at it. And I'm not saying that one right off the bat. I mean, you should, especially if you're a young person, you should probably hone your craft, get some sort of skill set or something that you can rely. What's the word I'm looking for here? Just in case you can fall back on. That's right. Something you can fall back on in case you need to, and on top of which you will need to be able to save a little bit of money at the beginning, whether it be to start a business or finance whatever you're doing, schools, or maybe you need to take a little break from the job that you do have now that paying well, to take an entry level job or such. It's very smart to have something to fall back on. So back to my first few points about college and skill sets, that and then that would be, I would suggest, a smarter route. And then afterwards, after you have a good grasp of understanding of things, then you could work on either opening your own business, or perhaps some other area that you are going through, some other thing that will affect a lot of people. So pretty much open, in some way it's a large business aspect. So, and it could be a different field, but at the very least, at that point, you have a great knowledge, great experience, and you you can fail, and it's not going to be as catastrophic as before you had something. So, in recap, no one's entitled to money, but you should always think you're worthy of it. Well, if you're providing something great, you shouldn't be like, oh, I don't deserve this. You should. However, you're not entitled to it. You actually have to do something for it. Yes, some people have been lucky and it just worked for them. They didn't have to put in a whole lot of work, or however it worked out. It's not going to be for the majority of people. I'm sorry. That's just not how it works. Two, you got to understand the way that skills, trades, or products work. There's certain skills that are in demand more than others, and you have to be smart and choose those. Even if you absolutely love doing something, yeah, you have to figure out a way how to monetize it. And that might not be through a job, it might be like a business down the line. Um, so you have to pick something, maybe you like or love a little less, but there's a great supply for it, and it's something you can do now if you're like a young person. Perhaps if you're a little older and you already have a skill set, something that you're making decent money doing, then you can start working on your business on the side, doing whatever you love. Um, Three, you got to understand college is a business, how that works. They're trying to, I don't want to say trap you, but they're trying to get as much money as they can out of you. And understand that's how it works. And your parents most likely had really good intentions, but they taught you wrong. And then four, the dynamic of you get what you put in, and ideally, like towards the long game, you're gonna have to figure out a way how to influence or provide a value to a lot of people, because that is the greatest rate of return. All right, any comments, questions, please put them down below. Please like, share, and subscribe this video. I would really appreciate it. And until next time.